Hello, this is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin, and these wonderful people have agreed to come and play silly games with me tonight, and I couldn't appreciate it more. But before we get to them, and we got to do some other stuff first. Tonight, our virtual tabletop of choice is Roll20, as usual. The character art tonight was done, 75% of the character art tonight was done using Hero Forge. The other 25% was provided by Mana Queen themselves. The other art that you see in the background and whatnot is from Pixabay. And I mentioned Hero Forge a second ago. We got a thing with Hero Forge, and I keep forgetting to mention it. We are official Hero Forge affiliates now. So if you scan down below the stream right now, there's a link. It doesn't get you a deal. They don't like me that much yet. But I do get a commission. So anytime you order a mini and get it sent out and use that link, I will get a commission. And I have said that I will use those commissions, I'll build them up until I can get a bronze gi made. So that's going to be what that gets used for. Because why do anything useful with it? Now, let's move on to these amazing people. They've agreed to come and play a fairly serious game, but we'll get to the game in a minute. First, let's introduce the people. Mana. Oh, thank you for joining us again. Mana Queen has returned to their rightful throne. Where can we find you?
Thanks, Kevin. I love being here. Right now, you can find me, here every Saturday for the next foreseeable future, but also every Wednesday with Wandering Haven Publications. We have an afternoon stream. Once I grab the link, I will pop it in chat. But we play every Wednesday at 2 p.m. or 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're currently running through some very precarious situations right now. So it's a fun time. Jeremy is a wonderful host, and I love playing over there. So you can catch me every Wednesday over there at 2:30 Eastern.
Awesome. The timing on that couldn't be better because we got a thing that's about to happen this next Wednesday. But we're going to get to that after we get to some more people. The next people, Bison. Oh, thank you for joining us again and bringing us yet another character. I'm looking to see how this one plays out. But what are you gaming? Where are you doing?
Normally, you can find me here and on Sundays, 6 p.m. Pacific. I play Bickford Barkswipe, the Bugbear Rogue, who is apparently now royalty. World at large, it's good times. Other than that, I normally stream Tuesday nights. I say normally, but that's kind of with a caveat. It depends on whether or not I'm too tired for work or not.
Oh, of course.
So, yeah, I always post my my streams in the Discord. Check out Ben, usually 2 p.m. or 2 p.m. Tuesdays, 6 p.m. or 7 p.m.-ish.
It's all right. It's been a long, hard summer. A lot of us are already looking forward to October. 2 p.m. Yes. Tuesday p.m. Yes. Next, let's just work our way around the call. Oh, man, that's really well. Thank you. That was really well done. Nice save. You got saved by somebody else. That is amazing. That's the kind of supportive community we have. It's like, oh, that looked embarrassing. Here you go. Soft place to land.
I got you, Boo.
I got you.
All right. Well, you put Boo down because we need to talk to Roosbar for a minute. How you doing? First of all, it's been a while. And where can we find you? What are you killing on stream?
I'm working on retooling my stream. I've been off with some health stuff for a while, so I'm working on some new ideas when we get something launched up, but it's going to be same variety stream I've always done, but I'm going to be picking up a lot more other streamers to play with at the time. It's going to be very rare that I'm going to run a solo show.
Collabs are so much fun. I got to do one yesterday.
Yeah, I'm still working on schedule and who and what. But.
Nice. Make sure you put it on the Discord, which I posted over there. Speaking of that Discord, join. Super supportive space. If you haven't already, join. If you want to play in a game, if you're willing to stream, you get to do it here. If you want a GM, this is a new thing, and I'm going to talk about this in a minute too, but if you want a GM, you can do that here too, as long as you're willing to stream it. But one more person we got to talk to, and I saved you for last because I love introducing you. It is Na 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 Batgirl. You're getting it every fucking week, man. Every week.
I love it.
Where can we find you? What are you doing?
Well, you can't really find me anywhere. I don't do much of anything other than I mod for a lot of streams. I'm not in any other games right now, although you've got that eye on me to get it, get that fixed and get some of these one shots in my head out and played. So, we're working on that.
Yes.
You can find me at least in the peanut gallery of my lovely wife, Blaze of Gloriosa, who streams on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I have a Twitter. You
Yep.
might occasionally see me post something, but it's really just there to retweet other people's stuff. So that's pretty much it.
And I appreciate every single one of those retweets. But I guess it comes around to me now. I usually don't do this. I usually blow through this part, but I'm not going to this week. Yesterday, I had the pleasant joy of being part of another charity event. It's still going on. In fact, it's going on until tomorrow night. They have already blown through their overall goal by 200% and counting. Yeah. It's Paradise Productions on Twitch. Go find them. Go have a look. After you're done here, I want the views. But go have a look afterwards. Actually, I think they're done for the day. They're on East Coast time. So,
interject. I love Paradise. I know a few people over there. They're great. Please do it.
Good people. Absolutely good people. Sean and Shannon running the whole show over there are just going to blow them.
Yep.
They're having a great time. So go to the VOD, watch that, and you can still donate. So click that link and donate over there. They're raising money for Jasper's Game Day, which is a awareness and prevention of suicide. So it's one of the best causes going. And thank you, chat. So quick on the links. There's the link for Twitch. Record that for later, because we're going to do this. But first, one more thing. This one's not about me. This is about somebody who isn't here. In fact, it's about a bunch of somebodies who aren't here. This upcoming Wednesday, I said earlier, anybody that wants to GM on this channel gets to GM. That's the new thing. The most organized of the people that said yes will be having their game on this upcoming Wednesday, like 10 days after I asked the question. And they could have gone earlier. But that is going to be one of our newer members, actually. Eddie, who's been in a couple of shows with us, has shown their talents as a role player, is now going to get to show us their talents behind the screen. They're running a one-shot called Poseidon's Promise that I know nothing about, and I love it. We are also going to have a new producer for that show. That will be, sitting in chat right now, producing already, our very own Karis. They will be playing 5e, and I've seen some of the overlays and the art and whatnot that's going to be going with that, and I am frankly impressed. And I'm going to, I want more of this stuff from other people because it all looks better than mine. So, but tune in Wednesday
Kevin,
to
your
watch.
productions are great.
That's not what I'm about here, but that's okay. We're going to see what the other producers come up with, and if it's better than what we're doing now, we'll change what we're doing now, because that's how we roll. So, with that. Oh, one more thing. I should talk about this adventure. I've said with that 12 times. That's ridiculous. This adventure started 32 years ago when I bought this book in 1990 when it was brand new and I paid way too much and I didn't eat for a couple days because I bought this. I was in university at the time. It's Harlequin, a Shadowrun first Shadowrun first edition. It doesn't even say edition on the front. It's just Shadowrun. 1990 it came out. It was an 8-part adventure, and I loved running it then. And I saw it on the bookshelf the other day, and I thought I need to do that again, but I don't have 400 D6s, and anybody that's played Shadowrun knows that there's too many. Even in a virtual, if you roll virtual dice, there's not a VTT in the world that can handle it, because it's just like, you want how many? You want and perfectly rendered green dice. All right, yeah. Anyway, so we're not going to do that. What I did was I've converted it to this. Tiny Frontiers Revised, which we've been using for a lot of games recently, and it's super simple and super fast, and it just, you got a character, bang, and just a framework, and the rest of it you make up on the fly. So, that's what I did. Let's do this. We start with a cutaway scene. Long ago, Harlequin declared Shalhan on Aran for a social slight that happened hundreds of years ago. They have chosen Chalhan Che to destroy the reputation of your target, and not Chalhan Se to kill the offender. But Aran does not know that. Chalhan is the symbolic display of power over 7 aspects of the target's existence: their physical and spiritual being, their past, their present, their future, and their loves and their hates. One of the things with this ritual is that pawns must be used. The players involved are far too powerful, and there's always the risk they could hurt each other. So pawns must be used at all times. That is essential. With that, Chapter 1, Physical. A long time ago, Cyrano de Bergerac wrote, "Perish the universe, so long as I have my revenge." But real life isn't like the books and the movies. There's no shadily worded messages on the dark web. There's no meetings in oily, puddled car parks from derelict 20th century buildings. And there's certainly no need to leave your apartment. You're modern mercenaries. It's 2050 after all. By the way, the date in the original Shadowrun campaign is 2050, which was the then distant 60 years in the future.
Oh, no.
And the only limit to the available jobs is the kind of thing that you're willing to do for money. But there's a hierarchy amongst those people offering jobs. From street-level, unmonitored jobs, there's job boards through all levels of corporate work contracts, from minor theft to corporate takeovers. And then there's the semi-mythical ones. The ones everybody's heard of and some others only a few care to mention. The ones with million credit jobs and expense accounts that just say approved. Then there's executive realities. A beyond government, beyond corporation, beyond the law entity that represents those who pay and pay and pay good money, and billions of it, to get things done without ever exposing themselves to any exposure of any kind. So when you tap your screens and the message says executive realities, thumbprint, eye scan, or DNA sample required to continue, what do you do? Let's start with Moose.
Thumbprint because it's easiest.
Yeah.
Big ass thumbs.
Yep. Your phone cracks and wheezes slightly under the pressure. I saw Jason. You also made a thummy motion. You're doing it as well.
Oh no, just
Okay. We'll do you
making
next. Then.
fun
What do
of
you do?
Moose, making fun of Moose a little bit.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Outside of that, Jason is inventing. I'm inventing things that maybe should not be invented yet.
Yes.
Things that should not quite be legal, things that aren't quite legal, but they require a certain skill and mindset to invent them.
Yes. And you're in the middle of one of those and your phone goes bing, and there's the executive reality button.
Yeah. Well, I just retreat back into my orb. It's fine.
Okay. Feedback.
Feedback is busy screwing with somebody on the other side of the country, messing with their car. It's playing, really bad, like C-list music from the before times when it should be playing, that particular performance artist's actual music.
Yep.
When the button comes up, he instinctively tries to hack it.
Yep.
And before he even gets like halfway finished his second script, he gets a big thing on his eyes that just say no.
Actually, give me a roll.
All right, give me a roll. All right,
Yep. Give me a hacking roll. You
Hacking, yeah.
are advantageous in that department, are you not?
I am.
So three dice, 5s and 6s count. 2 successes. You immediately start to hack it, and you pop a level, 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 and suddenly you're back on the level you started on. It's like, oh.
Recursive.
And bam, your screen opens. Like as if you'd thumbprinted, like that action was so you that it's like, yeah, that's him. And your screen opens. Jet. How
Jet's
do you respond?
under the
to this?
chassis of a like classic 2020 car. You know, back then. And-
Classic.
Oh, so classic.
That's
you
30
know.
years old, and I'm trying to think of a single 2020 that I would consider a classic. But no, go ahead.
It's a smart car.
Oh, of
The
course it is.
Mustang
Yes.
E.
Yes.
So chrome plated smart car. He's under there
The
doing
last,
the thing. He
yeah.
hears the bing. He just, okay. And he like just hits a button on his belt, and his phone, which is actually over on one of his workbenches, turns and like moves up close to what like a 3D print of his eye
Yeah.
that he engineered up. Just juke,
Perfect.
and then sets back down, and he's just still kind of cranking away.
Jason, the little symbol flashes once again. You see it out of the corner of your eye, and then you see the screen start to change on its own, and you kind of can't help but look. Your phone is scanning you, like your own gear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it probably takes me a little bit by surprise. Just kind of stand there and just blink, 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 blink. Like,
And as soon as you look at it, the screen opens. The rest of you, your screens open as well. And on it, it's odd. It's like it's a visual screen. It's a holographic screen after you. But what you see is a flat, almost like a tablet surface with words on it. You're going to actually have to read it. It's weird. But it says, our AIs have determined that your skill set qualifies you as an expert in one or more fields we require for the enactment of a series of tasks that will result in a certain client achieving one of their long-term goals. Remuneration will be commensurate with the expected difficulty of the various tasks. Bonuses will be paid for exceptional performance. Please check your chip. 5,000 credits have been deposited. For this, we expect you to attend a group call at 5 p.m. Link will be provided on this device. And it's one of those ones where as you read it, it adjusts the speed to how you're reading. It's like a teleprompter. And when you finish, it just disappears.
Jason immediately reports for spam.
Yep.
Throwing that out there, just
Yeah, you
report
hit
spam.
you hit the button, hit report as spam. As you do it, it's gone. There's nothing to report.
How did this get past my agent? I have a guide for this.
You can have a quick look. What the guy? Yeah, you don't have to. I was going to say what's a I got a guy test roll, but yeah, you quickly.
Yeah, let me
check.
roll to see if my agent exists.
You scan your phone like, how did this get through? This should have got stopped here. Nope. It should have got stopped here. Nope. It should have got stopped here. Nope. All of you are techie enough to know that this shouldn't be happening. This is beyond the tech that should currently exist.
All right, so I'm popping out my SIM card. This phone is getting destroyed.
Yep.
Industrial level destroyed.
Oh yeah.
Acid fire, the
Yep.
whole thing. Popping out a new one. Putting the car back in
Seeing
there.
a carburetor on legs, just.
Oh, see. Well, so in my head, you hit the 3D printer on this side to build your next one, and then turned over and fed this one into like a heavy duty paper shredder. Just and there's a whole bunch of dead ones in the bottom, like all the shreddings of like 50 phones in the bottom of it. Yeah.
Look, he's
You're
very
a
smart
pro.
with machines, but he's not all that great about checking the links before he clicks them.
No,
Hey,
that's
can Jason
perfectly
have
fair.
your recyclables? Because that sounds great. That sounds great to him.
Yeah. Moose, what do you do?
Slowly reading word by word
Yeah.
out loud.
One by one by one.
10 minutes after everybody else is
that
finished.
takes a while. Tongue sticking on. All right, cool.
Unbeknownst to you, you get one with smaller words. Yeah.
It's good. It just takes a while. I understand all of them. Not
Yeah.
that dumb.
Mm,
just,
just
not great.
fast.
They had to
Just
reference
not
corporate
great
speak
at
for
it.
dummies.
Yeah.
So
He's got a good
And,
system. He's just on dial-up.
Yeah, and I check like my classic clockwork wristwatch.
Oh yes, yep. The unhackable one,
And then it takes me like 2 or 3 minutes to.
because it's analog. Yeah, it's got
That one's over there. Okay, I got like 40 minutes. All right.
yeah. So yes, given speaking of 40 minutes, you have a period of time before your. Well, I mean, if you got your phone with you, I guess you got the meeting with you. But is there anything that you wanted to do? And yes, if those that check, there is 5,000 credits on your account. For the purposes of this, I keep doing stupid stuff and having exchange rates in other games. Like, it's worth this many dollars. 1-for-1. Let's just go with 1-for-1. So $5,000 just to show up, just to answer the phone at 5 o'clock tonight. And go into like essentially a Zoom meeting, like, but it's a hollow Zoom meeting. So you put your phone on the table and the image comes up from it. Yeah.
Question.
Yes. Answer.
Jason's already a holographic?
Yep.
So can he just pop where it is? Or does his orb have to physically be there?
Yeah, it has to. Yeah, there is
Okay.
an object inside you about egg size that floats around. Yeah,
All right.
we're creating.
For the audience, this is the first time I've played Tiny Frontiers.
It's
This is
okay.
the first time I've done this specific Tiny Frontiers.
It's all
So.
good. Yeah, Zoom meets Star Wars hologram. Exactly.
That's-
Yes.
Sounds like
Perfect.
they're trying to do like the AI version of astral projection.
Yeah, that's kind of what Jason
See, my-
theoretically thought about doing, but realized that's beyond his capabilities.
My
so.
inspiration for the holograms in this game is Red Dwarf with Rimmer. And there's literally a little bead that floats around and that projects him around that. So, but
So,
yeah,
Jet is going to clean up, button up the smart car, the
Yep.
very enhanced smart car,
Yep.
put all his tools away, mise en place, even in even in a garage, then get cleaned up, or at least try and get some of the smudges off his face.
yep. Where do you plan on being for the meeting?
He's got a room
Okay,
for it, a very neutral room, soundproofed,
perhaps
Just
some
in case
Faraday
something blows
cage foils around the inside of the room. Yeah,
Yep.
some webbings. Gotcha. Moose, what are you doing? You got 40 minutes. You said, and therefore it's true.
Actually, gonna pop down my old trusty Ares predators. Give them a clean, make sure they're all good.
Yep. So you're just going through the kit and making sure it's all good.
Yep.
Excellent. Feedback.
Feedback hasn't left his room in the apartment.
For months.
You don't see him. You don't see him much. For the most part, he looks at the time, figures out how much time he's got, sets up a few scripts to screw with this guy for at least another 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and then gets the surveillance camera from the exterior of the building linked up to one monitor. He pulls down bulletproof curtains from the window.
You're pros, man. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
immediately thinks, if we're getting $5,000 just to show up for a phone meeting, there's a very good chance that I might be shot at during that meeting.
It's bunker time.
Yeah, he takes out his M26 Rattler SMG, sets it on the table. Makes sure he's got good view of the door.
Yep. Just kind of getting back in the zone. I got it.
Yeah.
Which brings us to Jason.
So Jason kind of, gathers. He's a tinkerer type of thing, right? So he kind of gathers everything he thinks he's going to need. All these little tools, knickknacks, whatever inventions, right? Halfway there inventions. and he leaves his workshop because his workshop is at a secret place that only he knows where it is.
Fair enough.
Right.
Yep.
And then he goes back to his apartment because that's his
Right.
presentable space.
Sure.
But he kind of gathers all this stuff that he's like, okay, this random weird phone call. All right, I might need this, and I might need this. You know, that person that packs for 7 days when they go on a 2-day trip? That's Jason.
Yeah.
So he kind of gathers everything.
So you're wrestling and packing and just
Oh
going
yeah,
hard. Yep.
wrestling, packing, and then he goes back to his apartment, away from his workshop because his workshop is
Perfect.
his own secret safe space.
So probably coming up as a surprise for at least one of you who is, sort of 22 days into the plan. At 5 p.m. precisely, an icon appears on your screens. It's the ER of Executive Realties. This time it doesn't even wait. You each feel yourself get scanned by your own gear, and then boom, 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 the windows open up, and you come up as a hologram. It's like a Zoom call, but imagine like little holograms, like chess people, like chess persons on a board. Yeah. As you link in, you see the others for the first time. You've heard of them before. You're all pros. But as your eyes scan the holograms, what do we see? When you physically look at Jason, what do we see?
Well, Jason's already a hologram, so you probably see it's like taking a photograph of a photograph.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's slightly faded. Jason has what appears to be slightly close cut but shaggy dark hair, eyes that seem to see more than they should. They're bright, bright, bright electric blue. He has some what looks like scarring, but not really. They're kind of wiring marks down his face. But he's dressed in simple black t-shirt,
Yeah.
kind of shaggy jeans,
Tinkering
unassuming.
clothes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect,
I mean, assuming he's heard of these other people,
Yeah.
and when he looks around the table, he kind of assumes that the rest of them are kind of similar. Those type
Yeah.
of clothes that, like, you don't want to draw too much attention to yourself,
Yeah.
but you don't want to look that shaggy. You want to look slightly respectable, but not respectable enough that you're untrustworthy.
Exactly.
So that's kind of what he looks like. But he also looks very like uncomfortable and stiff, right? He's
Sure.
a photograph of a photograph right now, and
Yeah.
he's just kind of like.
Perfect.
Like there's like a slight like loading screen type
Yeah, like buffering.
on his
Yeah.
face. Yeah, he's buffering. He's buffering.
Perfect. Feedback. When they look at you in the holo, what do they see?
What they actually see is Feedback's Netrunner insignia, which is a big 3-stack of speakers blowing out data.
Okay, I like it. Yeah.
And that's all they see is the 3-dimensional, and when it talks, that's when the data
Okay.
spews
Yeah.
out.
All right. Yeah, sure. We'll go for that. Everybody knows that. You're famous for that. So
Yeah.
they all know who that is. Moose.
Human fridge.
Yeah.
Moose came by his name. Honestly, is not a small man. It's head shaved on the side, rest of the hair kind of pulled over and hanging off the other side, almost like a Skrillex style,
Yeah.
but somehow much more attractive looking than that.
Just
Steely blue eye gaze, square jaw, the typical way too burly of a man, the one you wouldn't want to.
it's got
Alone.
badass hero
Yeah.
written all over it. Yeah.
Yeah. He's been places, he's seen things, you can tell just by looking at him he did some sort of military service of some kind. It's
Yeah,
just
the way you
in the
said
way
the
he holds
job,
himself.
everything. Yeah, everything about
The
you.
person you think of when someone says call a solo.
Yeah, you want a
And-
problem solver.
Yeah. And Jet.
What
What do they see?
everybody else sees is a very plain chrome mask where the mouth moves almost like the jigsaw from the movies.
Okay, yeah.
You can't see any
Oh,
face
no.
or
Yeah.
skin,
Yeah.
nothing like that, because he doesn't know these people and he doesn't know if he's even going to take the job. So you don't get to see who he is.
Absolutely.
The voice is kind of modulated, the whole thing.
Perfect. And as you kind of have a glance around and you recognize either each other or each other's symbols or business cards, sort of, so to speak, a, a head starts to grow out of the base of the hologram like a 3D printer, but it doesn't, it doesn't make that noise, but it kind of just grows out until you're looking at what is obviously a carefully crafted talking head. There's nothing real about this. It is 100% program. It smiles, the eyes wrinkle, the whole deal. It's just, you can feel the artificial, the programmed charisma just pouring off of it. As first-time contract employees of Executive Realties, there's a few things I feel the need to explain. Firstly, there are persons and entities who possess tremendous wealth and power. Not the billionaires you've seen on the news, but trillionaires, even quadrillionaires. At a certain point, the banking community moves you to another financial space, as it were, to prevent you from collapsing economies and international corporations, and most importantly, the banks themselves. For we mere mortals, it may as well not exist until one of them wants something done. Or in this case, a series of somethings. You have been chosen for your skills, your professionalism, your abilities, and your ability to complete various task types at high efficiency levels. Before I ask if there are any questions, I should tell you that I won't be answering any questions. If our employer wishes you to know more, I will be informed, and at that moment, I will inform you. The first mission begins in a little over 9 hours. It's 5 now, so this is 2 a.m. they're talking about. The entire second floor of this moat shell, I'll explain that shortly, belongs to a publishing company, one of the few that still produce physical paper books. In one of the converted apartments will be an office. In that office you will find a safe, and inside that safe you will find a handwritten manuscript. He says it like he's said turd, right? It's like handwritten manuscript. The first part of your mission is to steal that manuscript. Once you have done so, you'll need to find their server and install this. And in the image, he holds up an old-fashioned USB thumb drive. Jason, your 3D printer starts to hum beside you. You look over, it's printing that USB thumb drive.
I was like, Jason's gonna be like,
Yeah.
super scanning.
And you're like, what is that? What is it? It's that USB drive. Yes. You quickly check it as it's printing. They're printing, this should be impossible, a USB drive with information on it, on your 3D printer.
With information on it?
It shouldn't be possible. This is worse
Yeah,
than your own phone scanning you, right?
Yeah, Jason's confused.
Yeah.
No, honestly, he just like, he goes in the hologram looking from like, very blank stare. He's
Yeah.
like,
Now it's got your attention yet when you realize that. That will eliminate any digital copies of the text. Touch nothing else, steal nothing else, and do not attempt to read that thumb drive. We will know. Deliver the manuscript to the address provided you once we confirm that you have it, and 40,000 credits each will be deposited in offshore accounts that only you will have access to. 20,000 now if you say yes, 20,000 upon completion. If you are caught at any point, burn the manuscript. Our watchers will be expecting you at the eatery no less than 1:25 a.m. If you do not wish to partake in this mission, simply do not show up. The 5,000 is yours to keep. The face blinks out, leaving the four of you looking at each other.
The money's good, but I do not care for the presentation.
Just side note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's actually,
Honestly, Jason would probably do the same thing. You're just like zoop.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
squeeze
But
up.
because you made that point, Jet, yes, this was weird. This is not corporate. This is not government. This is not your typical fixer. This is something very, very strange.
Feedback's getting the same kind of
Yes.
deal.
Yeah.
Feedback's used to back alley fixers, the occasional corpo client, you know, your typical Shadowrunner stuff. Even the government contracts weren't this sanitized.
Yeah.
Like there's
So
no data for him to track.
the hackers
Just
are
the-
just like, what's that? Yeah. Specifically, I wanted to mention to Jason, yeah, your stuff is doing stuff it can't do. Like, it's not only doing stuff you're not telling it to do, but it's doing stuff it can't do.
Yeah. I was gonna wait till you got to me.
And we're at you now.
Yeah.
Because I know
okay,
when I
yeah.
ask Moose what he wants to do, he's going to say, make it 2 a.m. and let me shoot stuff. So,
I mean, kind of like feedback and Jet, like he's used to people coming to him and
Yeah.
saying like, hey, I need this thing that shouldn't do this thing, but
Yeah.
I need it to do that thing.
yeah, especially as a
But-
tinkerer.
Yeah, he's a tinkerer. He's not really a hacker. I mean, he's a
So, yeah,
he's
this
a back
should,
alley engineer.
you know,
right?
this should
Like,
work on a whole different level. Like, you're,
Right,
it's
exactly.
not able to do that. It's not that somebody
Right,
hacked it. It's
like-
not, you can't print a thumb drive with information on it. It's 2050 for God's sakes, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
Like he's
yeah.
he can print thumb drives. He can
Yeah.
do a lot of back alley engineering stuff.
Yep.
But
Not
you
this.
can't pre-program a 3D printer.
Nobody knows how to do this.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
he's an AI.
Yeah.
He knows more
You're
than
scanning
a
them
living
from-
human does,
Yep.
right? You know, like but he has this thumb drive that he's assuming, part of him assumes that the rest of them do have it, but then also part of him
Yeah,
assumes the rest
you
of
have
them don't have it.
nobody was told. The rest of you
Right,
saw them.
so-
Actually, that's a good point. The other 3 of you saw them hold up a thumb drive, say you need this, and then disappear at the end of the conversation.
Right. So, but he
But
like
The 4
in
of you
his
are
line of
still in the
work-
call, so yeah.
Yeah. In his line of work, he knows damned if you do, damned if you don't type of thing.
So do you
So
tell
he
the
has
rest
to
of them
assume-
about the thumb drive?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
I thought Moose and Jason disconnected right away after the call ended.
I mean,
Oh,
Jason kind of looked at everybody.
Yeah, I just wanted to give you a
Jet-
chance to. Yeah, I wanted to give you a chance to
said what he
retcon that,
said,
but nope,
yeah, Moose
gone.
and Jason
yeah.
both kind of
Okay.
whoop.
Moose, you're going
Right out of
too.
there.
What are you doing, Moose? After this, after you hang up.
I'm getting out the in case of emergency stash. This
Mhm.
Do we need bigger guns?
even
cabinet? Yeah.
I know that this is incredibly out of the ordinary.
Yep.
I didn't get this job through my usual contacts.
No.
Somebody just
Dope.
out of the blue.
You're stealing a
This
book and
is
inserting
not-
a virus for $40,000.
Yeah,
Like, what
exactly.
this is too much.
Exactly. This is
That's
like
too much.
way too
Yeah.
way too much money, way too good to be true. But I'm not gonna back down from a challenge.
Absolutely.
So I'm strapping up.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Full
gonna be
load.
ready to go.
Full go.
I'm gonna go get to work on my bike
Yep. Get
and
some
make sure that
cardio,
it's
yeah.
running.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I see what you mean. On your boom boom. Okay.
Yeah, my Harley
I thought
Davidson
you meant your
Scorpion
cardio. No.
because it's a Harley Davidson and it needs a little work. So
Yes,
I
yeah,
put the
always,
hours
yeah.
in, make sure it doesn't break down when I need to get the fuck out real quick,
Yeah.
which is I'm expecting to happen.
Oh, it's an old flathead, so it's like 110 years old by 26. Yeah. Wow.
Oh God.
Yeah.
No, I
Way
know,
to
this
make
is
Post World War II. That's why I went all the way back, right?
extreme feel old.
No, this one's a Scorpion. It's,
Okay,
it's
so-
newer. It's like a 20,
let me
20,
guess
30,
another-
2040, something
Okay.
or other.
Yeah. You're going to tell me another 2020 classic, and I will argue there's still
No,
no.
No, it's
Okay.
it's fairly new. It's a
So
Harley,
we're-
so
yeah,
it's
it
a lot of
always
work.
needs some work. So,
Yeah.
So, at 1:25 a.m., then you arrive each at the eatery, seeing yourselves for the first time face to face. This is where the two of you that didn't describe yourselves before are going to have to do it now. Feedback. What do they see?
I do just, I'm sorry for
Yeah, no.
interjecting. I do just want to note when Jay or Jason, yeah, I mean, those who know him as Jay, but
Yeah.
those who don't know him as Jason.
I just met him. I'll
does
call
show
him
up.
Jason.
He's just he's in his orb, right? Like he's not projecting himself.
Oh, okay,
He's
so you're just a
visiting.
little bead floating along about 4 feet off the ground.
Yeah, I mean, per tiny rules, he's just
Yeah.
the bead.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He's
Kind of a
just
typical Decker sort of
Just a
thing.
little, yeah, just like a little tiny drone about this big. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
So just
Okay.
throw that out there.
Feedback tracks the orb for one.
Oh, yeah.
What you see is a guy who's he's about a little bit over 5 feet tall, so he's fairly short, skinny, very angular.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like he's very comfortable being outside, and the submachine gun that he has is in open view.
Yep.
It's very obvious he has it. But the one thing that everybody sees is his eyes are neon green, and there's just information just scrolling past.
I love it. Okay. And Jet.
Jet,
I want to
whatever-
know. Tooled up Jet. This is, yeah.
Tooled up Jet. All right.
Yeah.
What you actually see is a figure in a trench coat, standard, well, kind of thicker than normal looking trench coat. It's if you no armor, you can tell that it's actually armored on the inside. He's got the wide, almost kind of Indiana Jones style hat and a high collar. So all you really see are goggles and maybe a bit of facial hair, a little bit of purple skin. And he's got gloves on, combat boots, like engineer boots, obviously steel-toed or some polymer fiber, with a huge case, like circular case on his back. As opposed to Feedback, he's very wide. Like you can tell if he took the coat off, he would look like a traditional space dwarf.
Yep.
Smith, the hair, a little bit of orange hair you can see, like mutton chops, glorious mutton chops. Just kind of peeking over the edges a little bit. And he would going for the mysterious stranger with plenty of strange.
Plenty of strange and not stranger. Absolutely. So that, and then Moose, yeah, we described everybody else. Let's just do this. The Eatery is a diner built to look like it was converted from a gas station. But it's built inside a building that used to be a diner built in a converted gas station, so it's kind of just ironic. But through the multi-paned, painted and scratched off chicken wire embedded folding doored windows, you can just make out the Cecil. Every once in a while, a Lone Star hover goes by. Lone Star's the cops. But they pass quickly and do not stop. A quick recon of the place on the way in showed that all the bottom floor windows of the Cecil are Duraglass. You might as well shoot the moon. They're all locked and shuttered and screened. The lobby and the back doors clearly require passkeys. There is a fire escape that goes up to the 4th floor, but it looks like the roof has been broken off of this building, so it kind of goes up to a broken area. All the windows on the 2nd floor, your target floor, are screened, like the heavy mesh screen, not just chicken wire, but the actual metal screening. The lobby, no, did that already. On the 3rd floor, the windows on the side of the building with the fire escape are screened, but on the 4th floor, none of the windows are. But like I said, that 4th floor is like had the roof ripped off of it. I called the Cecil a hotel before. This is a thing. They were all the rage a while back. Copies of famous, or in this case, infamous hotels. The facades covering basic budget hotel rooms. This one is the Cecil. Every city's got a Cecil, and they're never nice. They're always nasty, and this looks exactly like one of those. It's the kind of place that has a bar downstairs that opens at 9 a.m. But this one has fallen out of use. It's been damaged by at least one major earthquake and abandoned by the city, only to be immediately filled with unlicensed businesses. The whole bottom floor is businesses and apartments and who knows what else. This is a shitty neighborhood. You guys are heavily armed. The two of you in particular are massively heavily armed. And you are the two most heavily armed guys on the street. But the other two of you are underarmed if you're only carrying sidearms. This is a bad neighborhood. there's nothing official down here at all. Like I said, the cops go by and they just keep going. Lone Star just drives by. It's like, checked it off. We look down there. It's quiet here at night.
There's no crime currently happening.
That is correct.
Onwards.
If you don't look, it's not happening.
That's right.
Hey.
So what we're going to do now is move you guys to the ground floor.
There's
You
no
down here?
crime prevention for Lone Star. There's only crime stopping.
That's right. Well, they only go to calls when people have money to pay them. So you guys are not this close, but this is where I put you so you can see.
Can't see shit, Captain.
Yeah, I was gonna say, see what?
We moved
Kevin?
you. I moved you to the thing, and then I did the. But I did the. But,
Nope.
I gave the.
Nope.
I did
Love
the
you, but
thing.
nope.
Watch this. Oh no, it's on. Save settings.
I see a black rectangle, Captain.
All the way down to the bottom in the center is where you guys are.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Oh, a lot
None of
of
us. None of us have
so
it.
confused because token.
I see a lot of bearded
Blue
faces.
Issue.
I think my beard is beautiful. Thank you.
hang on. I fix it.
Glorious. What do you do to make it invisible like that? Is that a cream rinse or?
It's a really good oil. It makes it so smooth that you can barely feel it.
Nope, you can't see anything.
Nope.
I'm seeing two dwarves in a salon having like beard tips.
This is. Oh,
In
this
case
is
anybody
so
in the
wrong.
audience was wondering,
Hang on, no, hang on.
miss-
Oh no, I know how to fix this. Hang on.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I'm much like
Here I was
Moose.
about to be
Much like
sentimental.
Moose, I'm not stupid. I'm just slow.
I was about to be sentimental,
Moose,
Kevin, in the middle
can you
of
see?
our interruption. Talking about how much I missed you people and I love you people. And I always love being here while we're trying to fix this technical glitch.
All right. Nope.
I'm just now realizing that I am the only one here without a visible beard.
Have to fix that for
Right.
next time. You can get a fake one hooks over the ears. Just,
Big
No,
Santa.
I mean, I really think it is. I think it's the beard oil that I. It's beautiful beard oil. I have a beautiful wax. It just keeps it so beautifully shaped
Okay.
that you just can't even perceive it. It's so beautiful that your eyes cannot even perceive it.
It's my,
So how about now?
There was a brief flash of something.
Yeah, now you can
Yeah.
see. Yeah, you're at the bottom in the middle.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
still can't see anything.
Nope.
Yeah, I know.
Out for
No.
a second.
Nope.
no, and all I see under the Harlequin Redux screen is a thing that says PDF with like a little drop down.
Oh wow.
Yes.
I just see a
That's
black
hideously wrong.
rectangle rather.
All right. Well, watch this. We're going theater to the freaking mind. I'm not gonna waste this anymore.
That's all right.
Put us back on the pretty page.
I mean, Kevin, we're all very
the first
experienced in
episode.
theater of the mind.
Honestly,
mind.
Tiny Frontiers is supposed to be Theater of the Mind. The only reason I built maps for this is because they came with Shadowrun, so I recreated them. But we'll get there next week. Like I said, the Cecil is kind of an interesting building because it's basically got a tunnel through it. It's a 4-story building. The south, east, and west sides are all been taken over by, the south half of it, because it's broken in half north to south. So there's a south section and a north section on the main floor, and then above that it reconnects. So on the ground floor, on the south side, it's all businesses. They're all shuttered up for the night. The north side, it's still 6 apartments, and as you kind of walk around and do some recon, because I'm assuming you would, those apartments have all got blacked over windows, and when you walk through the hole in the building, and it's not, this wasn't the plan. Somebody shattered through a row of apartments and out the other side. And you look down that hallway, there's 3 apartments on each side, and at the end of it, sitting on the rubble of stairs, is a Eastern European soldier. You can tell that because they're wearing a powered battle armor and it's steaming. They're famous for theirs overheating. He's just sitting there with a rifle resting between his legs and he's just watching you just dead-eyed as you walk past. You go around the rest of the building. You look upstairs, that second floor, all those windows are barred up. The third floor, one half the windows are barred up, the other half are not. And the top floor, they're barred, but it doesn't matter because the roof's missing. There is a fire escape that goes up the back, the north side of the building, all the way to the top floor. Stops at each floor.
We need the second floor.
Yes, just said the mission is on the second floor.
Oh, that's where I'm going then.
How sturdy is that fire escape?
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, you guys run around to the fire escape and give it a shake. It moves around a little bit. It's a fire escape, right? It's just a metal shoddy fire escape. It's designed for emergency use. You can get up it. It's not rusted. It's not foul or anything like that. It's going to work. It appears that it would support your weight. The Kool-Aid guy, right to the wall.
Feedback scrambles up surprisingly quickly.
Okay. So how far up are you guys going? Second floor? I heard.
He actually keeps going to the third floor.
Okay. And the other two. Moose, second or third or fourth?
I was thinking more along the lines of the fourth. I think it was a lot easier to get to, but I'm assuming that feedback's probably our entry specialist.
Fourth floor doesn't need an entry specialist.
Yeah.
It's got no roof.
So, well, I'm gonna stick with the entry specialist.
Okay. All right. So you're sticking with feedback.
My job is to back up the guy.
Gotcha.
That gets
You're
the door
keeping them
open.
alive. All right. So your guys are going to 3. Jet, you're going to 2. Jason, where are you going?
Out of character question,
Yes.
because again, this is the first time that I've actually played. Last time I played Tiny Frontiers, I was a sugar glider.
Yes.
So
It got really silly really fast. So yes.
Yeah,
What is your question?
As a hologram, and somebody who can be corporeal as a hologram.
Yep.
Do I have a physical weight?
You can allow your bead to be carried if you wish. What
Well,
you
I mean,
can't
but if
do
I- but
is
if
fly. So,
I mean, yes, but if I'm taking a full form,
Yep.
do I have a physical weight, or can I be
no.
light full form?
Yep, you light full form. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna lie, Jason probably watches the rest of them be like, "Oh my god, how do I?" And he's like,
And it just flips up
just
there.
like,
So which
yeah, well,
which floor then? Second or
Um,
third? Jet's going to the second floor. The other two are going to the third floor.
yeah, Jason's gonna go with Jet,
Okay.
but Jason's probably just like inside his head, like, nah, ha, ha, ha. Like I weigh
Alright.
nothing.
So, Jet, you get up there first, then Jason shortly behind. You get up that first floor and you look in, and it's one of those fire doors, the heavy metal doors with the bar that's only on the inside, and the wired, double-layered glass windows. Through it, though, you can see just a row of uninterrupted doors. It looks like a cruise ship. It's so regular. There's no art. The walls are that beige. The carpet is that gray, and you can tell like the paint was cheap and the carpet is designed to last forever. This is a cheap ass hotel. It was before it was converted, but every one of the doors in this hallway has no markings of any kind on it, and there's 12 of them.
Well, all right. We might be ready to piss some people off. The first thing, of course, to check is, does this door open willingly or does this door open unwillingly? Because it's opening.
Yes, the
Because it's
the push bar is on the inside. All you've got out here is that big metal square that's on the outside of the fire doors.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
I've got something for this.
Yeah.
Go rooting in his tools.
Yeah.
Engineer, get out a little tool he's got for this little super magnet.
Yep.
Plop it against the plate.
Yep.
Crank it up a little bit so it clunks the bar
Yep.
inward.
Yep.
Creak.
Absolutely. That's such a good idea. I don't even need a roll. You guys are pros. You just and pull that door open and pull it open and listen. At the far end of the tunnel, there's a set of elevator doors. And they don't open. That would be rude. I didn't mention them before now. But you hear the elevator beyond them moving. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, well, I'm going to step in and check my phone.
Yep.
Take a moment to check my phone to see if there are any other instructions. Otherwise, it's going to be knock, 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 knock.
You're heading down the hallway knocking doors. Jason, what are you doing behind that?
Oh man, first of all, out of character, I knew there's a reason I liked you, Kyle.
So, what do? He's just dun, dun. You can hear the elevator at the end of the hallway. I mean, you can see the light.
I
right
mean,
there. Yeah, there's no
all right,
light on
is-
this
is-
floor. It doesn't look like it's going to
Is the
stop.
elevator like going up, down, up,
It's
down?
coming
or
down
just-
right now.
It sounds like it's coming down.
Yep.
The building itself is only 4 stories tall.
Yep.
Well,
This used to be in
my-
Canada. We have laws. You don't have to walk
Yeah.
up more than 3
I was
flights of
like,
stairs here.
All right. Jason wants to see if he's gonna try to scan to see if there's anybody actually in the elevator or if the elevator is just coming.
Okay, so
For
you're going to
them.
sort of hack the system a little bit?
Yeah. I mean,
Or are you going to...
he's an AI. It's just
Yeah.
he's gonna try to use his like actual like as an AI. I assume. Correct me if I'm wrong. Again, Kevin, audience, please forgive me. I don't play a lot of sci-fi. I do more fantasy, so I don't know. If this is a lot.
What do you think? Make up a word.
All right, yeah. If he can tell if there's anybody on the elevator or if it's kind of like slowing to stop where
Yep.
they are.
There's
You know.
people on it. You can see that your floor isn't lit. So it's one of those ones like you can, the arrows are up and down. Neither one of those is
like
lit.
ding, ding, ding,
So it's
ding,
coming
ding,
down,
ding.
but it's not going to stop on 2. So there's only one below you, so it's going all the way to the floor, to the ground floor.
Okay. Well, Jets, ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding.
Yeah.
Jason is gonna kind of heat scan each door as he's making his. He is very
Okay.
much making his way towards the elevator.
Perfect. Nobody answers the doors. There's no heat in the first 2 apartments that you scan left or right. There's nobody in them.
There's
Meanwhile,
nobody on the
yeah.
floor.
There's
Or
nobody.
there's-
Your machine only reaches like to an apartment deep. Because otherwise, this is no fun.
Well, yeah, that's so. As I was saying,
Yeah.
I mean, Jason comes in the window after Jet and is
Yeah.
scanning behind. You know what? Jet's knocking.
Yeah.
Jason is scanning behind Jet.
Yep, absolutely. And neither one of you are finding a damn thing. Meanwhile, 1 floor up,
Cool.
you guys get to the door. Moose and feedback. What do you do? Moose, you said you were kind of expecting feedback to be your entry system.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah. Feedback's got a pretty fancy looking gauntlet. It looks like if aliens designed the Power Glove.
Okay, yeah.
So it looks like a Power Glove, but with like a whole lot more buttons and
Yeah.
lights and switches. It just makes no sense.
Yeah.
But it does to feedback. Feedback puts his hand on the door or on the doorknob or whatever, and uses his nimble fingers ability to try and basically what you see is the just sort of like
Yep.
little things come out of the glove.
Okay. Give
and he
me
just sort of tickles it.
just give me a roll.
He
I don't know,
tickles
some
it.
kind of roll.
All right.
You tell me whether you think you should have advantage on it. Probably. Yeah.
With nimble fingers, I get the advantage
Right.
when testing the pick locks. and
That's the
stuff.
one. So yeah. Did you already roll was that you,
Yeah.
the 415? All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's kind of, and you finally get one in there and sort of just pop the pin, the safety pin inside, and the door opens up to you. As it does, you realize it was pretty much soundproof because you can hear ahead of you an argument in the hallway, 2 adult males yelling at each other. The rest of this hallway is the same as these guys saw below, just like 12 doors, and at the end of it, there's an elevator. You watch as the elevator goes, like you see the lights go blink, 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 blink as it goes past
Mhm.
from the 3rd floor heading down. There's other noises up here, too. There's apparently people living in these apartments.
Okay, he's gonna just sort of hold for Moose, and he's gonna listen to this argument.
Okay, Moose, what are you doing?
I'm gonna walk past them and just kind of we see where there's like a inner stair
Yep.
access.
Yep, there's
supposed
just
to be going down
just in the
one
door here. There is a flight of stairs going down. So the elevator is at the south end of the building, and it's stairs going up like that at the north end of the building. So
Yeah.
there's stairs right inside this window.
Yeah, so that's
you
I'm
head
just
down.
gonna
Okay.
yep, screw
So the
back open the door
Okay,
to the
yep.
stairwell.
You go, yeah,
Feedback
you-
moves out of the way so that it doesn't look like feedback's there. It's just Moose.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So Moose, you head down the hallway, or you head down the stairs right away. Just boom, 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 boom. Feedback. Are you going with, or are you staying up here listening to this argument?
I'm gonna listen to the argument first, and then
Okay. In that case, because I know Moose ain't waiting. He heads downstairs. He's on a job. You get down to the second floor, Moose. You turn. You push the door open, and you see at the other end of the hallway, you see Jet and Jason, and Jet's just going boom, 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 boom. He's about 6 doors down, and behind him, Jason's scanning stuff and walking down the hallway. Meanwhile, upstairs, the argument starts to really heat up. This is, you can tell, like, the voices are hard to hear the words, but you can tell from the intonation and the rage that's in it. This is 2 family members fighting. This is like brothers arguing big time. And you start to hear the sound of breaking furniture.
Oh, okay. So it's not like in the hallway.
No, it's in one of the apartments. There's a hell of a fight going on in one of these apartments. Yeah.
Okay, he's gonna make his way down then.
Okay, so you scoot
I
downstairs.
thought it was 2 people arguing in the hall.
No.
It may have been relevant. So okay.
No. They're just a distraction, and you very, very capably avoided them. So now all of you are back down. You pop down the stairs behind him, and so the thing is now there's 2 of you at each end of this hallway. It's like, this is interesting. I like this. And you're just sort of, there's, oh, no, you're not. Because I said you guys came down the stairs. So pardon me, I have to rewrite this. Like, you guys come in, and then down the stairs right behind you come these 2. Because, yeah, the elevator's at the other end of the hallway. Pardon me. I thought, never mind. The elevator goes past the second floor and down to the bottom floor. You hear the ding, and you hear footsteps through a broken window. And it sounds like a security patrol that regularly scans this building. Another 2 doors. Boom, 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 boom. Nothing. Scanning. Boom, 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 boom. The second door on the right, there's some heat in it. Not a human, but like an operating computer or something. That's
Is
what
the
you see,
shouting
Jason.
coming from this floor or?
That's from a floor up. There's an argument going on above us. Above you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
It's literally a distraction that I threw in to see if they would.
Okay, well, I
think
guess there's an out of character question here.
Yeah.
Because from how I read the Little Frontiers
Yeah.
handbook,
Yeah.
AIs have some sort of, or holograms have some sort of orb that they need to be a part of.
Yeah.
Is that orb corporeal?
Yes.
Or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's this little
Okay.
bead. This little bead
Yeah,
thing.
that's it's
Yeah.
like a little like 8-ball type of. Oh, Bison, I miss your balls. Your no balls, your 8 balls, your 1 balls, your 4 balls. Like I like. Okay, so it's like a little tiny thing. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Ah, man.
Not small enough to go under a door, but yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I know what you're thinking. I can see it. I can see right in your eyes.
You can see it through my brain.
The other ones, while you think about what you're going to do, the other 2 of you come down the stairs.
Yeah.
And what do you add to this?
I'm trying to recollect which room we were supposed to go into.
You don't know.
They didn't say
You were
anything.
told one of the apartments is an office, and one of them, and there's another room that has a computer in it. Jason has essentially found the computer, but they haven't shared that yet because Jason doesn't share.
No, he doesn't. He's thinking for the moment.
Yes. So, you know what you're looking for. You're looking for an office. What do you do?
Well, if I get down to the end of the hall and I don't get any responses,
Yes, you don't.
and nobody else is saying
Yeah.
anything or being helpful,
Yeah.
that means they don't get any my beef jerky.
That's right.
'Cause there's
I
always-
don't need food. Thank you. Thanks, Jet.
So yeah, bang, 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 bang,
he's-
bang, all the way down the hall. Not one response.
He's gonna get out a fairly standard police issue lock picking gun,
Yep.
and he's just gonna start.
Lock-picking gun.
Oh yeah. They actually
Yeah.
already exist for standard
They do.
locks. Yeah,
Yeah.
it just goes in
And this-
Yeah.
This does not look like a high security area.
No, it is not. This is a converted
No.
cheap hotel.
Yeah,
You
so
start
just-
popping doors at the end. You just got to, like, you went all the way down the hall. You're just gonna. I mean, the efficient thing.
You're
would
just
be
gonna
to start
turn
with
around,
those
yeah.
doors and turn around
Yeah.
and come back. You pop the one on the left and you open it up. It's just book storage. It's like this one's all cookbooks by famous people. This whole room. Spin around and
I
pop
do
one.
want to know
Yeah.
when Jet kind of turns back around.
Yeah.
So this entire time, Jason has been pretty much existing in his orb form.
Yep.
Right.
Just hovering down the hallway. Yeah.
But when Jet turns back around, Jason is corporeal
Okay. Yeah.
at the door that he's
Yeah.
sensed the computer heat in.
Yep.
And he's at that look, and Jet kind of turns around, and Jason just like,
Well, you're a tinkery kind of a person. These
yeah,
doors.
but he just kind of like dead eyes stares at Jet like, it's fine.
Did
Are you
you?
gonna try and open the door and get into the computer room?
I mean, he's going to, but like Jason doesn't say anything.
No, I just asked. Give me give me a roll with advantage then. These are
With
weak
advantage.
locks. So you
Oh,
pop the
God.
the other door on the other side. This one is also all books. This one is all self-help books. And there's a lot of full cases, like they never sold many at all. You pop the door open on the other side, Jason, and look in, and there is a server. Just a couple of little computers hooked together, and a router and some other goodies. This is the place that you have to put this this virus. Please keep interrupting.
Oh my God, I
midlife.
was just
Yeah,
saying,
come on, man.
please, Joel.
It's called
It's
chat.
like,
It's called chat for a reason. It's not called sit and watch.
Yeah, I
It's not
was
called
like-
lurk. Jeez.
It should be noted that Jet remembers they were told not to destroy anything, so
Yep.
he's closing and relocking the
Nice.
doors
Excellent.
as he goes until he sees Jason just
Yep.
like a huge raccoon and dart into
Exactly.
a room,
Jason's
at which
just
point
like,
is-
"Ah."
Yep. The other two. Let's give you guys. You start coming back at speed. Like, what are they doing? What are they doing? Where are they going? The other two. What are you doing? Moose.
Feedback.
Actually,
looks to
let me
Moose.
stop. Let me stop before I ask you. The two of you, because the other two are distracted. So Moose and Feedback. You hear the elevator on the ground floor start up again. You look up. The light is on at the end of the hallway. It's stopping on this floor.
Feedback elbows Moose and points.
What are you guys doing?
Oh, gonna stop.
Yeah.
Whatever room he's in, gonna just lockpick the door
Yeah.
and just.
Just dive in. Okay.
Oh, he's gonna like gesture if he's close enough.
Okay. You heave up, you open the door, you open it up, and you look in. And this particular room is the bindery. This is where the books are bound. And there's all kinds of machinery in this converted apartment, and there's hardly room to squeeze in. You can get a couple people in here for sure, but that's it. Moose, I saw you flexing.
I'm ready to go, and then maybe I shouldn't. Maybe just it's an urge that I have to fight.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm gonna duck into the room Jason went into.
Okay, so you pop into there, and yeah, you kind of have to squeeze in, and it smells like books and glue in here. It's a very archaic smell.
he went into
Oh,
the
Jason,
one with
sorry,
the server.
The server
I just
room.
processed the yeah. So you head into the server room. Okay.
Server room, yeah.
Yeah. Feedback. Where are you going?
Feedback half scrambles back up the stairs.
Okay, heading back up to the third floor. Gotcha.
He's sitting up at the landing and kind of.
Okay, you guys, I'm assuming
Looking
pull
around
the
the
doors
corner.
closed behind you. The door to the second floor opens, and 3 security guards step out. Now this is a bad part of town. So these security guards are lightly armored. They've got real weapons, helmets, communication devices. You can hear their earpieces because they're cheap. You can hear them leaking sound. They're in communication with somebody else. They just blithely, they're security guards on their 27th round of the day. They just walk down the hall. Feedback. They walk down the hall. They're getting closer and closer and closer. They can't go down. There's no stairs to go down to the first floor at this end. There's only one place they can be going, and that's on the stairwell that you are currently on.
Stairwell I'm currently hiding in. All right. Feedback's going to continue up the stairs and then make his way out the door that they opened.
Outside onto the deck. Okay.
And he's going to hide on the balcony, on the fire escape.
Okay. So you step out of the fire escape. Perfect. The security guards come up the stairs, go up to the third floor. You hear them open the door. You hear the argument. You see them go in. And you just hear their footsteps along it, and they don't even pause. They just walk all the way down to the end, and then you hear the elevator going, and you look, and it's going up. So it looks like they get in on the first floor, go up to the second floor, go along, go up to the third floor, walk along that, go up to the fourth floor, and you don't know what happens after that. But that there's a pattern to security.
Okay.
You're outside. What do you do?
So he watches it go past.
Yeah.
What does he do?
I'll cut away. Back downstairs. The three of you, the two of you are in the computer room because I want to know this. This I want to know. Jason, there's the computer. You have the thumb drive. This is half of your mission. What do you do? You're muted.
I am muted.
You were
Sorry,
muted.
my cat was screaming the song over people, so I
Oh,
muted
okay.
myself. She was like sitting outside of the room and like I was like, oh my god, I need to mute myself.
I will injure you
Okay.
while you sleep. Go.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
What are you doing? There's the computer.
Okay. So Jason knows that they were looking for the computer
Yep.
system.
You have found it.
See, that's the thing. Jason doesn't believe anything he's told unless he knows it himself.
Okay, absolutely.
So he was told they were looking for a computer system.
Yep.
And well, the voice on the phone in the holo call said, hey, we'll know if you try to read the hard drive.
Yep.
He didn't try to read the hard drive.
Yep.
But he did. He's a back alley engineer.
Yeah.
He knows what type of information matches what type of information, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, well, I found a computer system.
Yeah. So you want to see if this is
Is
the right
this
one?
is this the computer system I'm looking for?
Absolutely. Give me a
Like he
test,
doesn't
yeah.
trust anyone. He's not gonna plug a USB willy nilly into
Sure.
a
Absolutely. Good idea. Give me just a test. 2 days.
Test.
Yep.
No advantage.
Unless you've got
Test.
hacking.
They also didn't say anything about us taking information with us.
Right, exactly. So like Jason, honestly, that test is for Jason to be like, hey, is this an okay thing to plug this into?
Yeah,
But also,
I think
This
with
is a
those
weird
results, you recognize that it is a computer.
And it says on the
Jen,
side.
I wasn't asking you.
It says on the side. Evergreen Publishing Company. There's a sticker. Like that's what you figured out. Yeah.
Yeah, Jason.
Yeah, you're an engineer, not
still
a
is-
hacker. Yeah.
Honestly, to be honest, Jason's still not plugging it in.
Okay.
But Moose is with Jason,
Yep.
right?
No. Yeah. Moose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Moose is with Jason.
Yep.
Jason has not pulled out the weirdly manufactured
Nope.
thumb drive.
No, you have not.
But he looks at Moose. I don't know if Kevin wants to decide this or Moose does, but
You tell me.
do they know each other? Do they know of each other?
You know of each other for sure. Yeah. By reputation.
of each other.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just given the storyline.
Yeah.
He kind of turns around, looks at Moose, and goes, I mean, it's a computer. Now, Jason himself is also a computer, so it
Yeah.
kind of comes off pretty flat. He's like, it's a computer.
Okay.
Do you have the thing?
What thing?
Thing that you're supposed to plug into the computer that we're supposed to find?
I have a thing to plug in.
Then plug it in.
Is it this one?
Sure.
I'm sorry.
You're asking,
I see.
you're asking
I'm probably the
gunnery
worst
sergeant
person
to play an
of the
AI
computers
because
right
I
now.
We're
am
in the,
so-
we're in the place we're supposed to
Yep.
be. They said to find a computer and plug the thing in.
Yep.
Let's do it. If there's another computer somewhere else, let's plug it in there too.
I mean, Jason's not good in emo. He's like, okay,
I'm just-
I'll just. Yep.
You find a USB, I guess USB 7.0 port, and you just,
Yeah.
you plug it in.
Just don't.
You notice immediately because there's a small screen in front of you. Everybody else on this floor notices immediately because all the lights go out. Security notices because all the power to the building just went out. And
While they're still in the elevator.
the elevator stops between floors. Yep. Thank you. Because you thought of it, they stop between floors and not on this floor.
Oh, guys, why would you do this?
And so they still got the stairs. Not those three, but there's more than three. And on every screen in this room, every screen in this floor lights up, even the ones that were turned off. So even the ones in the bindery, the programming screens that are just utilitarian little screens, every one of them lights up with an image of a mask. Like one of those white opera masks, but it's painted with a Harlequin's face paint. The diamonds around the eyes, that smile that's just way too creepy. And when I say Harlequin, I mean like an old school Harlequin, the dangerous clown, the trickster. That's the face that comes up on every screen and just rotates.
And this is where feedback comes back in.
Okay.
He's,
Yeah, so you step back in now, yes.
and he looks, I guess he's kind of looking around / through Moose.
Yeah,
As a hacker,
yes.
does feedback recognize it?
This is like a nuclear-powered virus. This is the opposite of ice. This just goes in, and you can tell in a blink. I don't even need a roll. This thing went in and formatted the computer. There is nothing. There's not even an operating system left on this computer. There's a tiny little graphics package that makes this image rotate, and that's it. It has been nuked.
A silent chuckle.
And you hear running feet downstairs, all of you. Yes. Please tell us, Jet, what are you doing in the bindery?
While everybody else is, doing the thing that only needs one person with a thumb and forefinger to do,
Yes.
Jet is going to continue to search these rooms for a safe.
You jump out and into the very next room you search. It spins open, and there is a small office in front of you. It's just a converted apartment. There is a desk, an old school wooden desk, the old leather wingback chairs. It's almost creepy. It's intentionally old. It's made to look ancient. And there in the corner is an iron spin thingy on the front safe.
Okay, well, Jet's got this. He's gonna dig into his bag, get out a ultra modern version of a stethoscope.
Yep.
He's gonna just get down there and start.
Absolutely. Give me a roll with advantage, because if you got the gear, you got the specialties. That's how we play this.
I mean,
Besides,
you
it's the
know
first
that
week, I'll
there's
be
like
nice.
a very computerized, like,
Just laughing from down the hall.
coming from Jason.
Yeah. Yeah, Jason and Moose are both giggling. Yeah. What was it you were attempting to do?
Just trying to, I know if you spin it and you hear click.
Oh yes, right. Okay, yeah. So you start on the lock. Sorry, I completely brain farted on what you were doing.
I thought you were just being a smartass.
No, I'm not. I just right there.
Because I would
the brain just
too.
stops sometimes. It's not my fault. Well, yeah, it is, but never mind. That's a longer story. The first time it's like tick, 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 tick. No, there's something wrong here. And then you move the stethoscope, and it's I can hear it now. You're gonna have to try again.
Okay.
As you hear that, the footsteps pounding up the stairs are getting louder. They're gonna be up here in a second.
Does Jason see
What is
Jet
going
trying
on
to do
with these
this?
dice?
No, Jet's down the hall in another room.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Sorry, I got
No,
distracted
again.
by my cat. That's why I was asking.
Feedback. What are you doing?
Feedback is also trying to stay on task. And I guess he sort of, goes the path of least resistance, finds the door that's already opened.
Yep.
Sees Jet fumbling with the
on their knees, yeah.
And he comes up to him and just like, leave it to professionals.
You're a hacker. What do you know about analog? But go ahead.
He shows the
hand.
glove
Yeah.
is just like starts like you see little picks
Yeah.
start coming onto the fingers, like, if it has a lock, I can open it.
You
And he
start
goes.
going. Yep. Give me the roll. Double sixes.
Crit.
The fingernails start to creep in behind the wheel, right? You're not going to try and spin this thing. You're just going to try and get in behind it. And they find a spot. This is an old safe, and you just like there's a crack. So you put a fingernail in it and push, and it gets bigger, and it gets bigger, and it gets bigger, and then the whole wheel assembly just falls off the front of the safe, leaving a hole. You can see inside. You're still going to have to reach inside and crank a gear to get this thing to open, but the lock just fell off.
We weren't supposed to do that. Or destroy nothing. But all right.
You just took it apart. Anyway.
My mom never bought that.
Let's put it this way. It's in the story, but I won't punish you narratively for it because I did it, not you guys. So there. Yeah, that's fair. We'll just hand wave that shit. So the door, you eventually, now you pull open the safe. Inside the safe, there is yeah, skipped all of that bit. We skipped all of that bit. We'll do it next week. Yeah, the sorry, I did it again because I went looking. What were you trying to do?
We were opening the safe.
Okay, yeah, you pull open the safe. You find, yes,
trying to find the manuscript that we're
Yes.
supposed to steal.
You find a bunch of chips, like money chips, the big fancy black ones with the platinum bands around them that have bazillions on them. Well, not bazillions, thousands. Like there's probably 10,000 worth of chips here. There's also the manuscript that you're looking for in a box, manuscript box, and then there's also a pile of archaic cash and a little, like a wire helmet, a wire frame helmet.
Feedback's hand like hovers over the helmet for a second, and then he taps one of the cred chits
Yeah.
so that when whoever uses it zeros their bank account.
Okay, gonna hack
So
it.
he's gonna
Okay.
he's booby trapping the credits.
Okay. Now you're pushing the limits of breaking stuff. But yeah. All right. So yes, you
It's
do
just
that.
a simple, just
Then you grab
fuck over
grab the manuscript. At
You know-
that moment, outside in the halls, the door bursts open. It's not security. The steam is pouring off the shoulders and out of the sockets of the helmet. The weapons are held at the ready. These are the fallen stars. These are the Eastern European soldiers who are all disgraced. They're the ones that live in the apartments downstairs. They come charging into the room and start looking around, until they see you sort of sticking out of various doorways here and there. What do you do? They're between you and the stairs.
rack the
So they came downstairs from the third floor?
No, they came up from down. Or sorry,
You said there's no floor.
no,
or no
you're right.
stairs
They
leading
came.
up to
So
that.
pardon me. They came in through the fire escape. There we go. You guys did it. They could do it. They came up to the fire escape outside and came in that way. It's the only way to get to the second floor now. So yeah.
Hmm.
Does that make better sense? Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you for
yeah,
correcting
no
me. No, I like it.
problem.
No, I like it when a story hangs together. So thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Well, mostly I was looking for a way to just completely skirt this and run away because they were trying to come up the elevator. But well, we'll find some other way to deal with this.
Because it was a good idea. The elevator rattles into life behind you. The door's open and there's 3 scrummy-looking security guards in it.
Well, all right then.
So there, I made it better and worse, didn't I? Like there's like a bunch of really bad soldiers that went into the hall, and then 3 security guards guarding the getaway.
Yep.
What do you do?
All right.
I'm gonna reach over and yoink the thumb drive out of the computer real quick,
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
throw it in my pocket, and like close the. I'm assuming no, we already closed the door. We were in the room, it was closed.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just gonna
To be-
sit and listen.
Okay,
To
you
be
stay
fair,
in the room?
when
Yeah.
Moose does that, Jason goes, "Please don't."
Too
When you
late.
took
Just
when you took the
just-
drive out, or when he closed the door?
It's completely dead face, dead frame.
Well, the real question would be: did feedback close the door to the server room, and feedback left that room and came down to the room that Jet was in?
If
Nope.
feedback isn't in that room.
No.
Yeah, feedback was. Feedback
Yeah.
came in.
I sort of poked my head in when I looked at
For-
the Harlequin.
For the purposes of this, they all know you're here, and you know they're all here. We are almost at montage moment, the fleeing the scene of the crime moment. How you've got, and I mean, this is basically like we're all, like I said, this is where we're at. So you've got the heavily armored soldiers at that end. You've got the security guards at this end, stairs, elevator. You look like you got a plan, Jet. What do you do?
Jet does have a plan, but first I need to know: are those soldiers like past the door? Because the door to the server room is like the second door in from the. Okay, so are they
They're
like
just-
blocking it? They're right there, or they're just before it?
I meant yes, that's where the door is. They're still just pouring through the window. So there's only two of them now. One of them's in, one of them's coming in.
Okay, then what Jet is going to do is dig into his bag of wonders, pull out a pair of flashbangs,
Yep.
pull the pins, chuck them at either end.
Okay. Yeah.
And then
just cover your eyes. All right. Yep. Moose, what are you doing? You know this. You're military. You know what he's doing. In a couple of seconds, it's going to get bright in here.
Yeah, I'm closing the door.
So you just close the door to stay in the room with Jason. Okay.
Yeah.
Jason, you staying in that room?
Pin my boot.
Yeah.
Jason don't got no choice. There's a moose in the way.
Yeah.
There's a moose in the way.
Jason is an back alley engineer, so he has had many things blow up in his face before.
Yeah, we don't need to have that happen again. Feedback.
Yeah, he's no stranger to he's like, oh.
Yep, gotcha. Feedback. What are you doing?
Feedback is diving behind that desk and taking cover.
Okay, so
because this is about to be a firefight.
As the second soldier comes in and the security guards are like, hey, you guys are supposed to be downstairs. There's just pow, this actinic light, just super bright. You guys all cover up. You hear from the security guards. The soldiers are actually stumbling back and kind of clawing at their eyes. That's bad equipment. Their light vision, their light compensation didn't work very well. They're stumbling back out the window into their compatriots, so you can hear more of them outside. The three security guards are just falling on the floor, like crawling, clawing at their eyes.
Moose, push those power armor fucks out the window.
As soon as I hear the pop, I rip the door back open.
Yep.
And I've got my predators in the hand.
So right here to the side, there's two guys doing this, trying to claw. They're trying to get their fingers, but they're wearing helmets, so they can't get in. So it's like they're ineffectively clawing at their faces and just kind of backing up instinctually. They're backing up right to that fire escape door, and they're backing up into their buddies who are outside.
Yeah, I'm going to charge them and put my shoulder in.
Just boom. This is a moose.
Yeah.
You're going to be a moose. Give me an advantage roll.
Yeet.
That's the success. Yeah, you drive into the first one. It hits the second one, hits the third one. You asked earlier how sturdy the fire escape was. It was sturdy, but it's not 6 soldiers in battle armor getting hit by a moose sturdy. So it does that thing where it just peels off the wall. And you see them starting to jump. It's only a couple of floors. They're going to be fine. They're wearing power armor, but they are definitely going down there in the alley. Moose, you kind of stumble to a stop, catch yourself on the door frame.
So push back,
Yeah.
wheel, and start just
heading for the
the
elevator.
other way towards the security guards.
So elevator is all around then? Or what are we doing?
Jet's going to unlimber old Zappy
Uh-huh.
and just haul ass down there and just be like, click his voice modulator. Is like, get off the elevator, stay face down, and you get to go home tonight.
More than my job's worth.
They-
More than
they
my
probably-
job's worth. More than my
they
job's
probably
worth. They're
can't
just
even
crawling
hear you right
blindly
now.
down the hall past you.
Just
Look, it
to
was a good
clarify-
line, and if they can't hear it, I'm not wasting it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, that's a good
Just to
line.
clarify, I had a character because I did get distracted by my cat, who apparently wants to be on stream, but not on stream tonight.
Oh yeah, it's a cat.
Uh,
Yeah.
well, yeah. That's
What do you need to know?
Like, Moose did take the fabricated USB drive
Yes.
to
Yeah.
him, right? Yeah. Jason doesn't like that, but that's okay. Jason
Yeah.
will play nice.
Okay.
Uh, so when Jet is like, saying all that stuff, there's just a voice that comes with the system that goes, "Please keep all your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. Those who, and do the
Yep.
whole, those who disobey these things may find their limbs decapitated." Like, it's not as pleasant as you would think it would be.
Yep.
But,
Yeah. So you start
it's
making
just
that
like,
trying to freak everybody out. Okay.
yeah.
But in the
Feedback
process, yeah.
with us? Did feedback come with us? I'm just making sure feedback knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took them a second, but once they realized that this firefight isn't going to be a firefight because
Yes.
apparently I'm paired up with a couple of psychopaths.
Yep.
Um,
Escape
Throwing-
artists. They're
Escape
aggressive escape artists. Yes.
exfiltration.
Exfiltration
specialists.
specialist. Loud exfiltration, our specialty.
Yeah.
So you guys tear down
feedback
the hall to
scrambles
the
and-
elevator. You get in
This
the
is
elevator.
called
Where do you go?
ED, escape and evade.
Yeah.
First floor, baby.
First
Those
floor?
guys aren't picking themselves up all that soon.
Yep.
Yep.
So boom, you hit the yes.
Just sitting there hammering the closed door button.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
see at the other end of the
And literally just
hallway,
the entire time,
the ones
Jason's
that can
voice
still
is-
see are climbing past their buddies into the other end of the room. They're just about to start firing rounds. Just before the door closes, one plasma round comes through and right through the wall and out into the street. You hear the neon advertising for the Cecil outside get shot and shatter into the street below you. And finally the door is closed. And yes, doot, 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 all the way down. Because of the pressure, the tension, I just had the moment. It's that moment in Big Trouble in Little China when they're on the elevator going down, except instead of the start of the elevator and at the end of it, this is the end of it. Like you're trying to get away. This elevator's going so slow. It takes forever. It's like Space Mountain. It's just like, come on, come on, come on. It finally opens on the street and there's nobody. In the distance, you see a lone hover car stop, back into an alley, turn around and leave. You look above
Thank
you, the
you
sign of the
for
Cecil is
writing.
shattered. There's still screaming and yelling from behind the building where the fire escape crashed down, hit another building, and threw a couple of Eastern European soldiers into somebody's living room. There's plenty of distractions, and absolutely no one around here wants to see anything because nobody wants to be a witness.
Jason's voice sounds and goes, "Thank you for riding the Hacker Express. You may now exit the vehicle."
And the elevator's
like
doors
halfway-
close behind you.
I'm halfway out the elevator
Yeah.
before Jason can say anything.
As you
Feedback
head
actually
down the
waits.
street. Yeah.
Waits until the little thing is done and then just sort of
Ding!
Yeah. As you walk out into the street, all of your phones ping and you see the logo, the ER logo. And it says, "Meet us back at the eatery."
Well, Jet's gonna go get into his rather, slightly not modern, nondescript white panel van,
Yep.
his work vehicle, because he's not taking his special car
Your
anywhere.
creep van. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The ones with no windows on the sides.
It's
very
gotta be
tiny,
white. Yep.
Super blackout. One or two little rust stains,
Yeah.
but nothing overt, so it can be like
Rust
middle class.
stains. Yeah. 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 Right by the door where stuff would drip. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah. You jump on that. Who said the Harley? Moose? Feedback. You
Yeah.
had the Harley, right? No, Moose had a Harley, right?
No,
So you jump on the Harley. How did the other two get back? You got vehicles? What do you got?
feedback uses a little dirt bike.
Okay.
Like just and he doesn't take the road. He takes as much back alley. He triples back and the second the op is over, his paranoia just goes right back into overdrive.
Yeah.
and he's got the manuscript with him.
Yes, you do.
So when he has a moment, he's actually going to, if he can,
Yep.
take pictures.
The box isn't sealed.
The box is not sealed. He's
You open
gonna
it up. The author's name is there. The title is there. You don't recognize. Well, you kind of recognize the name. It's one of the self-help authors. And you kind of look through the introduction, and it's just the cheesiest, most self-serving self-help book you've ever seen in your life. It'll probably sell 1 billion copies, or at
You
least it
need to
would.
manifest your inner success.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
remember this.
Writing
chapter
checks to
from
the
last
universe.
book.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. Yeah. It is exactly that. It's just a self-serving sort of back-patting, smarmy crap that sells billions of copies.
He's unimpressed, but at the same time, in the back of his mind, he's thinking, "That's probably an illusion, but I'm no mage."
The roadmap to becoming the ultimate alpha male.
That's their other book. But you guys get
Unabridged.
back.
Okay.
You get back to the eatery, and sitting at a table waiting for you is a droid that is so nondescript that you can tell somebody paid a huge amount of money to make them not stand out. You couldn't describe them if you took a picture and were looking at the picture while you tried to describe them. They're just shapeless, morphless, colorless. They're just this droid sitting there. It's really hard almost to focus on them. And
As an AI, Jason does not like this.
no, this thing's creepy.
That's hard for it's
This is
super
another
creepy.
one of those
That's hard
shouldn't
for him.
exist things, right? You kind of look at it and your eyes sort of slide off. It's freaky bad. It just holds out its hand for the manuscript box. Feedback?
Yeah, so he takes a moment to actually try and get a description of this thing, but he knows he's not gonna.
It's just, like I said, it's like it's Vanta black. It isn't. It's like Vanta gray. You just can't stick your eyes on it. They're just, it's a shadow. It's
a
actually painful to
cognito-hazard.
try and focus on it.
It's a cognito hazard. It does not want to be seen.
That's right. It's an SOP. It's a somebody else's, or SEP. It's a somebody else's problem. So
he hands it off.
Yeah.
He's like thinking,
no,
we better.
Jason, you gonna try and stop him?
Feedback kind of feels like a weird, like, zzz.
I don't know if I'm going to let you into feedback, but what's the plan? He's physically handing the box across. That's what you've got to do.
Physically?
Yeah. It's a box with a manuscript in it. This is your job. This is one of the things you were paid to do. Put in the virus, which you did, and deliver this book. There's 20,000 more credits. There's 20,000 in your account now, 20,000 more.
Jason lets it happen.
Yeah.
But there's like an empty, dead stare at feedback. Like, he's not looking at the weird nondescript thing that shouldn't exist because Jason doesn't like that.
Yeah.
But he's just like at feedback, like dead.
Before he hands it off, he looks to the robot. He's like, "I'll waive my fee if you give me the virus."
It just takes the book and pretend like it's acting like it can't even hear you.
Disappointing.
Your chips chime, and the other 20,000 is in place. So $40,000 from this run.
Of note, though, also Jason has kind of have all their phones, kind of scan them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jason is this like back alley engineer, so he's very good at
You're
like,
trying
recognizing one of his traits is an eidetic memory, right?
The more you look, the harder it gets to see him. This thing is just it's beyond the pale.
Jason's not mad that feedback handed the manuscript over.
Yeah.
I mean, hello, Jason's the one who like plugged it into the system.
Yeah.
But Jason is like.
So and just trying to make sense of it. A voice comes out. I was going to say it speaks, but it isn't. It's clearly a recording. It's the same voice that you heard from the head earlier. It says, "Well done. Just to be perfectly clear, what you have done is destroyed every digital copy of that book in existence, and stolen the only printed copy. as they lock the book manuscript in their chest, and you can see it closes up on them. Thank you. We'll be contacting you again. Well done. And they stand up and start to walk out of the building, and you look through the window past them. That there's this gray thing that's hard to look at, so your eyes very easily slide out the window. And down at the end of the block, at the Cecil, mayhem. There's security running everywhere. Lone Star has showed up now, but it's the big cops. It's not cops. This is heavily armored vehicles and gunfights and all of that. The half a dozen to 10 members of the Fallen Stars have engaged them. And there is now a massive gunfight going on down at that corner. Chunks of the building are being blown out of existence. The droid stops, looks, and the voice comes back towards you. Ah, exactly as planned. And they walk out the door, and the door closes behind them, and with just that sheet of glass in the way, it's that last little bit, and they're just... You can't see them anymore.
I toss feedback to thumb drive.
Yep.
No.
They never asked for it back.
Oh.
But feedback did ask for it, so
Yep.
Yeah.
have fun with that.
Yep. And we'll get to exactly what's on that next week. The four of you sitting in the eatery, 2:30 in the morning, to the accompaniment of burning buildings, sirens, and the noises of any hint of your wrongdoings going up in flame and smoke. You are
Waffles?
covered
Nachos?
and 45,000 credits richer than you were 12 hours ago. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe you order the blue plate special, eh?
Here's a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Man, I cannot wait for next week.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for next week.
So, with that
Beer,
scene,
nachos, and half a pack of cigarettes.
you know that picture, the famous picture from years ago of the diner at night
Yeah.
with all the old
Yeah,
classic
Nighthawks.
cars in front of it? That, but with the four of you inside, this vaguely glowing hologram, just twitching and tinkering and just not sitting still. This cyberpunk looking backstreet little shithead. This military monstrosity just covering a seat and a half. And then the smells of sulfur, explosives, and imminent death. Short, thick, round person at the end. You haven't noticed, but everybody else in the diner's kind of moved to the ends. But the guy behind the counter walks up, white t-shirt, cigarette pack tucked in and turned up, blue jeans, he's to form, and the old metal coffee carafe, and he just quietly pushes 4 cups on the table. He looks over at you, Jason, and says... And he doesn't say anything. He just puts his finger through yours like it's a hologram.
Yeah. Well, he is a hologram.
Well,
so-
you just got a holographic cup of coffee because this guy pours 3 cups of coffee for the 3 of you that can drink, presses a button on the carafe, and like the ghost of coffee pours out into the ghost of a cup for Jason. You look
Jason
at it,
is like
Jason,
zapping
that
inside.
coffee is compatible.
Jason is
It's in
totally
smell-o-vision,
zapping
so you can
inside.
see
He's
it.
like, but he's also looking at Moose like in disbelief because that's his thumb drive.
Not anymore.
You guys are kind of grinning and looking at each other, and the guy behind the counter is just smiling.
Throw
pouring
4
coffees.
criminals in a room together.
He's
What's gonna
eggs,
happen?
bacon. He
The only
says it's
difference between
almost time
Shadow-
for breakfast, and he starts piling out eggs and bacon and sausages and the works.
Jason's just like,
You get holographic versions of each. So yes, you can eat too. You can eat and drink.
yeah.
So you're eating and twitching as we fade to black. Jason eating and twitching. Jet, what are you doing?
Jet is gonna go in, like pop out his phone for a minute, finalize a few purchases, since he's suddenly a little more flush, then
Yeah.
he's going to just reach over and take as much of the bacon as he can, and only the bacon.
Seeing that, the host just keeps piling more bacon on your plate.
It might not be
Moose.
made of meat. But
Yeah, it's it's city
it's
bacon.
probably it's insect.
Soy
You know,
bacon.
don't
It
ask
gets
questions,
narrow at
Pete.
one end and kind of ratty at the
Yeah.
other. But yeah, moose.
It's soy bacon.
Soylent
Soylent bacon.
Yeah,
You know
soylent
what?
Yes.
bacon.
Don't ask
Yeah,
questions.
we
Level of
go.
meat.
Yeah.
That's what that
Oh,
I'm just tucking into my waffle.
yeah,
Sip of my black coffee.
yeah,
Everybody try
No
the
waffle.
bacon. I've heard the taste varies from person to person.
yeah.
Feedback's on his fourth or
Feedback.
fifth cup of coffee.
Just-
He takes it high octane, no cream, and
Yep.
like 4 sugars.
Absolutely, just pouring it in. The camera backs out again, showing only your backs. Backs up the road, quickly cuts over to the mayhem that is the remains of the Cecil Hotel. There's only about 2.5 stories left. The Fallen Stars have retreated to what used to be the roof, where they've chased off a whole group of people called the Toppers that you didn't meet because you didn't go up there. There is multiple levels of fighting going on in the remains of this building. But without firing a single shot in anger, or committing a single violent act against another person,
Minus the body check.
one body slam, and the guy, I mean, he's a soldier. That's like a hug. That doesn't count. But yes, with that one physical contact there, I'll correct myself, you accomplished your first mission. Who knows what's left? What's next? You just got $40,000 to steal things and plant a computer virus. And it didn't get physical. But this was. The players know this, the characters would not. The physical part of this is that manuscript. It is the only copy in the world of this book now. You have destroyed all the digital copies and there is no backup. So by taking it, Harlequin, through you, through the pawns, has made their first step to Chalhan by taking control of the physical portion of Aaron's life. You don't know it as characters, but the players, 7 more. As you chow down and drink the best coffee in the world and eat the best bacon in the world and the best waffles in the world, they come with strawberry happy faces on them, and the best digital food you've ever eaten, Jason, we drop, the scene fades to black, and the credits roll. Until next week, thank you all very, very, very much. I had a blast tonight. I have been looking forward to doing this since I found this up in the bookshelf a couple months ago. So thank you all very much for letting me play this game again.
Thank you for letting me play this game.
Oh, well.
Oh, I'm so
thank you.
excited, Kevin.
Thank you so much, Bat Kyle. Thank you, Mana Queen. Thank you, Bison, and thank you, Roosbar. I'm really looking forward to see what happens next and what you guys do to this plot. It couldn't have gone better tonight. I mean, you're actually going to get a bonus next week for the lack of violence. So, 2 more thank yous left. One to chat. Thank you so much to chat for tuning in. We asked you guys to do a lot this week, especially with tuning in yesterday to watch the charity stream and everything else. And you keep coming back, and I keep being amazed. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And to all the people watching on YouTube in the future, thank you too. If you watched all the way to here, please hit the like button, because I'm going to assume you did. And with that, tune in tomorrow for The World at Large. Tune in Wednesday for our one-shot with our new GM for this channel. They've GM'd lots. Eddie's going to be running Poseidon's Promise for several new players to the team, plus some of our regulars. So tune in for that Wednesday night, regular time. I almost said same bat time, same bat channel.
And you did.
And with that, until next time, please be nice to each other. Good night.